Okay, new workshop renovation part 6, and this one is exciting. Last time we painted the walls and ceiling. Spectacular! But it did a lot for the comfort in the two rooms and was the preparation for the ceiling installation, which we are doing now. So to bring you back on track, we wanted to install an interesting looking but inexpensive ceiling with wood and integrated lighting. And since we already had lots of OSB panels from building the walls, we went with suspended OSB panels and recessed spotlights. And a size that worked well with our material dimensions was 1 by 1 meter. Because with a full sheet being 1.25 by 2.5 meters big, we could cut 2 panels from one sheet. The long offcut was useful later for building the shop walls, and the small offcut also had a use. And so we went to work with the track saw on some styrofoam. First the long strip, then a panel from each side, and repeat. Like this we could mark everything up front on the pallet, align the saw track, and cut. After like 4 sheets, we worked together like a good team and the 28 panels were done in less than 2 hours. Next question was how to suspend and mount the panels to the ceiling. With over 10 kilos per panel, it had to be solid. And suitable material we already had was our construction lumber from the walls. And so we went with 2 thicknesses as distance and made the simple construction. 3 pieces screwed together with 1 mounting screw each. Simple, solid, and room for cable management. This thickness is also what we used for the dark paint on the wall. Those suspension pieces only needed to be mounted relatively precisely at the right location on the ceiling. So for that I made a drawing with all necessary dimensions, set up a crossline laser parallel to the wall. Well, as parallel as possible, because no walls ever are truly straight and square. And marked all the drill locations for the suspending construction. It did help a lot to use the same reference for each measurement. As you can see on the drawing, it's this corner, or rather these 2 walls in the office. And then a distance laser while I'm on the ladder. Then 1 hole. And impact dowel for each. Time for production, making all the suspending construction. And marking, drilling, and mounting everything to the ceiling. Once that was done, it got more and more clear that this ceiling is more effort than we anticipated. Because next we had to paint the construction lumber dark as well, because you can see it from some angles. So while I was busy painting, Robin could mount the cable channels for the lights. Every panel got a junction box for the light and also normal power. More on that later. The white cable supplies power to the junction, and then the next panel, the black cable, is for the spotlight. Once all that was done, we could tidy the office up and bring in the first panel. It got a centered hole for the spotlight, and we also marked the mounting screw locations. Now I set up the crossline laser again to the spacing of the first panel. And seriously, without that laser, we wouldn't have done this ceiling. When I announced the construction of the new workshop on my main channel, I got a sponsoring offer from Dovo for their Crossline Laser 360. And I would have been stupid to decline that. It turned out to be one of the, if not the most useful tool during the construction. They send a kit in a box that comes with the 4-layer laser, of course, a remote, two batteries, USB charging equipment, a laser target and glasses for better visibility, a little scissor lift, and an attachment to clamp it to a table and similar. It features 4 layers, so it's suitable for work near the floor and the ceiling. It's got double rubber dampeners, protecting it against falls and shocks. They're the only ones doing it like that. And with that, they give you 5 years warranty on the accuracy. Check out the link in the video description. Very useful for our construction site. Here, it's set to align with the corner of the first panel. Robin could hold it up and thread in the light cable. I clamped it lightly in place, and we could hammer it into position. Looking pretty good so far. For the mounting screws, we made a complex jig. A stick for a mark. And screwed it down, up. One up, 17 to go. For the second panel, we didn't move the laser and only used one laser line and a distance block, because setting up the laser takes time. So our whole strategy was to move the laser as little as possible, mount the 3 corner panels, and then move the laser to the next corner for those 3 panels. We had marks on the wall to get the laser at the same position again, and a classic road sign on the opposite side. Pretty useful actually, since it's big and very reflective, so easy to see when the laser touches the edge. Robin and I also started playing a game. Guess the panel center for the hole. This is him, this is me. The target is 50 centimeters from each side. I'm basically spot on in this direction, but way off in this direction. In total, Robin is closer to the actual center, but we got better and better with each panel. From there, it was very repetitive. And for the 4 center panels, we didn't need the laser anymore and could rely just on the distance blocks. The 2 panels in the back were then again mounted with the help of the laser, but to get the diagonal nicely accurate, we used a nicely sketchy setup. Saw track clamped to the panels. I got covered in dust, but it worked beautifully. We are very happy with the result. Everything is nice and accurate, a comfy feeling for the office, exactly what we wanted. But now an important question. Is there a triangle missing? Leave your opinion in the comments. Installing the lights now was rather simple. I mean, see for yourself. Just repeating it 17 more times. Lights on! We went with 10 watts per bulb at 4000 Kelvin temperature. It's all evenly bright without a single dark spot. Perfect for the office. Now what I said about the power cable. We ran a 3-phase cable from the light switch up the wall to the ceiling, but not hooked up to 3-phase power. Because at first we thought about having a double light switch and divide the lighting into 2 groups, which we didn't end up doing. But the 3rd phase in the cable, hooked up to single-phase power, is now an easy option to install an outlet on every panel. Say we want to install a projector here against this wall or a fan here. The OSB is an easy mounting option and an outlet can be installed at every panel with little effort. For example, one of our Wi-Fi hotspots is hidden on a panel without any wire mess. Hopefully it's future-proofed enough, because installing this whole ceiling with paint and everything took us about 1.5 weeks. We now can say it was worth it, but then again we did the same thing again in the launch room. Really unimaginable without the cross-lined laser. But also there, worth it. And these 2 rooms one step closer to being finished. What comes next is the flooring, and that's the topic of the next video.